Okay. I'm going to reiterate, because I don't know where they're shut off. Taking this box off. That's the remote that would go to the handlebars normally. And that box gets mounted up underneath where you don't see it. But I was using these leads temporarily to test yesterday, the day before yesterday, because this is taking a couple of days. So there's those leads. This is the lead off my generator to charge batteries. I didn't want to cut it up. I would have if I had no other choice. But it's always better to have choices. Okay, so we were mounting that piece at the back. Now I got to do the leads here on black lead. Have I fished that through yet? I see it. I see it. Okay. There's the black lead. Now, I do not want to trim these any more than I have to. And you're going to say, why not, Bob? And I'm going to say, because if I ever want to relocate this someplace, I don't want to be adding more wire to it. I would rather just go with it as it is. Now, that being said, I'll put those two leads out that side. I'm going to go around. I don't like you guys being behind me. I'd rather you be in front of me. At least that way I'm not blocking what you're looking at. Even if it could be my ugly face. So, but we're going to do the same thing as we did at the back. I am going to take my black lead, carve it. Take my red lead, carve it. Again, that stuff goes for the sweeper. I'm going to take the two ends, swing them up here, and stick them in such a way that I can solder them, I hope, and give them a little clamp. Oh, this, yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't started raining yet. Really. Warm my soldering iron up. Get myself orientated while it's heating up. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with these supply chains and stuff. And the stores not having what they should. There's some big discussions about the trucking industry and that, how it's falling apart. We're being overrun with fly-by-night companies and drivers not getting paid what they should. That stuff's always gone on, but I think it's getting worse. See, I didn't have the connectors. I had to get the connectors, the round connector for the winch side to fit those terminals. I didn't have any of that size, but I did have the ones to fit here. The only thing is, I think they are too small for the wire. And if they are, nope, that fit. That's good. Wire gauge is like shotgun gauge. Smaller the number, bigger the gauge. So that's always something to keep in mind, right? Now, when these leads are crimped, I will run electrical tape around the lead to hold the two wires together nicer. So they, oh, look. Hey, look at that. That is not a pain in the butt. Well, let's go into the sweeper. Now there's one for you too. Kojiko as a company. Now I don't know who the contract for that they hired. But I was in the house and I heard something. And I went out and these two young fellas got a ditch switch, like a trencher, but it only goes down 6 inches. And they run the damn wire for the cable from the road over top of my culvert at the driveway end, and then they turn around and they go down the driveway in front of the house, like to the house, trenching this thing in, but they're only going down 3 to 6 inches, depending on what they hit. And they didn't even go on the lawn. If they'd gone on the lawn, it would have been better. They would have cut through a few tree roots, but they would have had it down. So now I'm going to end up, I got to grade my driveway and put fresh gravel down because the driveway's got too much dirt in it. So I've been working on it. Now, without me even getting to where they buried that cable, just driving over it, it came to the top. I got a loop out in the driveway of this thing. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. It makes no sense to me, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a dumb old guy, right? So, needless to say, when they buried that the way they did, and I would come out and I'd said to them, if you had talked to me before you started, because they were almost to the house, I said, if you guys had talked to me before you started, I would have came over and dug you a trench. I said, and it would have been done the way it should be done, not the way you guys have done it. I said, so, because what you've done is just wrong, right? Like, it's just wrong. They couldn't see it the way I saw it, but needless to say, I'm going to say this, needless to say, we didn't go with Cogeco. Now, those guys did not work for technically they work for Cogeco, but they don't work for Cogeco because they work for a subcontractor. And the subcontractors that they hired to do all this work have been a pain in the butt. Every friggin' turn. 2 weeks later, it was still sitting on my lawn, and their supervisor came around, and me being the asshole that I am, I told him what I thought, and he wasn't too happy either. So, that being said, now, I got everything wired up, so now we got to figure out if I wired the winch correctly or not. Oh, there's my remote. I plug this in. I can't move you from where you are, or the charger won't work because I got you plugged in charging. Come on, this is the hardest part, eh? The damn thing to plug in. Yeah, that's why I was putting it in upside down. Okay. Now, hey, we got power. And I wired it backwards. So, we will fix that right now, because I don't want to leave it that way. Because when I give it to the young lad to use, it's got to work right. Yeah, you figure nobody's taking pride in their work like they used to. I've been finding that a lot at work. When I was working the last job, they a lot of times guys said fuck it, and you know, we were told to do with what we had, come back and fix it later, and that's all well and good, but that meant somebody would be months fixing stuff, because there was reoccurring issues, if you get my meaning. But can't argue with the guy that signs your timesheets, right? I was saying before, as a friend of mine, we fixed graders that were home built that his dad had built, because you couldn't get the equipment when his dad built that grader, and it had steel wheels. We switched it over to rubber so we could tow it from one down the road from one place to the other, right? Because you can't go down a paved road with steel wheels. Tears up the road pretty good. I guess if you're only going a few hundred yards, it wouldn't matter. But when you're driving a couple of miles from one farm to another, it's hard on the wheels, hard on the road. And we even put a bin on it so you could, when you were grading, you could kick up stones. You had a place to pick the stones up, put them in the back, give you a little extra weight for the grader, as well as give you a place to get rid of the stones. And then when you got where you needed to get rid of the stones, you just stopped the grader, emptied the stone boat on the back of it, so away you went. There you go. And that took long enough that the switch turned off. There we go. That winch is going to calve soon, and I will have to get another one, but that's okay. Let's see how long this lasts.